Nintendo's Mario Kart series is one that strives to top itself with every entry, with the new usually replacing the old in graphics and content. The fourth entry, which was released on the GameCube, stands alone with having a feature so unique that fans of the series return to it despite its age. Deciding on the gimmick proved to be a stressful goal for the developers, which was explained in a 2012 IGN interview. In the interview, the director of the game, Kiyoshi Mizuki, stated, "It was a very difficult task. It was never very easy for us to come up with a gameplay feature that would cater to the old fans of the existing Mario Kart series, as well as adding some new features so that fans of classic Mario Kart titles could enjoy it too." Eventually, they decided on the unique trait of the game, 2 characters per kart, giving it the title Mario Kart Double Dash. Most of the character combos were straightforward: Mario paired with Luigi, Peach with Daisy, and Donkey Kong accompanied by Diddy Kong. Toad didn't have such an effortless choice for a partner, so Nintendo made the decision to create a new character, Toadette. From an initial look at Toadette, many assume a variety of things. Following the style of Peach and Daisy, one would assume she is Toad's love interest. Much of Toadette's design fits the ideologies in the Miss Male character trope, with the pigtails and pink color scheme. She did not follow every piece of the archetype, though. Thankfully, she has no pink bows or attraction to Toad. Many cite a Prima strategy guide which labeled her as Toad's sister, which Nintendo never officially confirmed this is true, making the explanation void. Eventually, an answer would come to debunk the speculation regarding her relationship to Toad, but that would come much later. Luckily, her appearance in Double Dash was not her last, as she continued to appear in games for the GameCube system, becoming a mainstay not only in home console Mario Kart, but Mario Parties as well, where she is playable on 2 entries for the GameCube. She continued to appear in spin-off games as a playable or supporting character, until finally showing up in a mainline Mario game. In Mario Odyssey for Nintendo Switch, she was again a supporting character that was not playable. Her first playable mainline appearance would come later in Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, where she was given the ability to turn into Peachette through the Crown power-up. Recently, she also appeared in Super Mario Bros. Wonder as the main character. Even though these are mainline games in the series, the most important game for Toadette was Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Near the launch of the game, GameSpot did an interview with the producer of the game, Koichi Hayashida. In this interview, he revealed a substantial piece of information. This is maybe a little bit of a strange story, but we never really went out of our way to decide on the sex of these characters, even though they have somewhat gendered appearances. Directly after this quote, he revealed the nature of the duo's relationship. Koichi officially labeled the two as adventure pals and nothing more. The impact of these quotes was much larger than GameSpot probably anticipated, because it completely changes how we see Toadette. There are 2 ways we can look at this information regarding Toadette. Both fall under the transgender umbrella. Looking at Toadette as a genderless character, they are removed from the gender binary, which makes them a non-binary individual. Their feminine outfits and colors add on top of this, displaying them as someone who chooses to be femme-presenting. Labeling them as a trans-femme or non-binary character are both equally true, although it is left up to the interpretation of the player. Even in believing Toadette to be non-binary, one part of them is still transgender, a part of them that was mentioned briefly earlier. Peachette is at the same level of importance for the representation Toadette provides to the series. Giving Toadette a power-up where they directly become a new version of a female character is a perfect allegory. Considering the power-up is explicitly only available for Toadette, they quite literally become a woman, with this new form having a pink bow usually associated with female characters. Akin to Toadette, Peachette was not just a one-off appearance. She later appeared in the mobile game Mario Kart Tour, being announced on September 7, 2019. Looking at the post, the comments are horribly negative. Some users were mad that it was another Pink Gold Peach type character, which I disagree with. Pink Gold Peach was created for Mario Kart 8, which parallels Toadette's introduction in Mario Kart Double Dash, the contrast being Toadette had their own personality, crafted to fit the gimmick of their debut title. Pink Gold Peach is self-explanatory, being a pink gold recolor of Peach with a higher metallic voice.
Wheels up! Wheels up!
Both traits acting as soul discerning factors. Unlike either of them, Peachette came from an official mainline Mario game, possessing not only a design derivative of Peach, but distinct voice lines reflective of her personality.
Ha! Just like a princess! Got you! Hee hee!
Her vocalization implies that Toadette is doing an impersonation of Peach, with Toadette's vocal flair remaining present. The rationale for mentioning these factors is to display the dissimilarity in effort Nintendo took to create these characters. Fans of Pauline's character expressed frustration too, which is reasonable considering her seniority as a character in the Mario series. Outrage died down as she was eventually added in the same New York update alongside Peachette. The hate would come back 4 years later, when again she had to fight for her representation in Mario Kart. On September 14th, 2023, a Nintendo Direct was released. In said presentation, a teaser for the final wave in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass was released. This was a DLC pack that spanned 6 waves from March 2022 to November 2023. Initially thought to contain new courses only, the release of Wave 5 shocked players who realized characters were to be included as well. With 2 slots left on the roster, players had all sorts of theories for who could be revealed. In that teaser for Wave 6, 4 were revealed. Fan favorites Diddy Kong and Funky Kong were brought back, alongside highly anticipated Pauline and, of course, Peachette. Despite receiving more than 2 characters, players again pointed their fingers at Peachette, claiming she stole the spot from multiple different characters. As you've likely discerned before this point, I have a personal connection to Toadette and Peachette. Today, avatars are much more customizable than they were, and it is far more likely that women and people of color can see themselves in the games that they play. As someone who recently came out as transgender, which derived from being gender fluid for a year and a half, I see a large part of myself in both characters. As explained, the research presented has changed headcanons to canon. It pains me to see people disregard any character, as I believe every character has a meaning for someone out there. Despite how minuscule one believes the differences between Peach and Pink Gold Peach or Peach and Peachette to be, it is worth remembering that individuals love them for those differences. I can empathize with those who wish for Dixie Kong, Nabbit, or King Bob-omb to take a final spot in one of the longest-running Mario Kart games to date, spanning from 2014 to present year. There is one detail that many failed to realize, which I admittedly missed as well. The final wave of the Booster Course Pass came out on November 9th, 2023. Mario Kart Double Dash released for the GameCube on November 7th, 2003. Out of everyone deserving of a position on the roster of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, only one was directly linked to a character who recently turned 20, a character linked to the series itself and one of the most memorable games in it. A character who, after 40 game appearances, finally gets to be
Just like a princess!
Happy belated birthday, Toadette.